What's the most painful thing a family member has ever done to you? Growing up, Marcus was the golden child. 3 years older, naturally gifted at everything he touched. Sports, academics, making friends. It all came effortlessly to him, while I struggled with basic social interactions. Our parents worshipped the ground he walked on, attending every game, celebrating every achievement. When I made honor roll, they'd nod approvingly, but somehow the conversation always shifted back to Marcus's latest triumph. After high school, Marcus got a full scholarship to State University while I enlisted in the Army. Our parents were proud of him, worried about me. The day I left for basic training, Mom cried like I was heading to my execution. Dad shook my hand stiffly, already mentally preparing for my funeral. Marcus was off at orientation week, too busy to say goodbye. The first few years were rough. Basic training broke me down and built me back up. But the real challenge came with deployments. Afghanistan, Iraq, places that existed only in news reports for most people became my daily reality. I sent letters home regularly, sharing what I could about my experiences, but responses were sparse. Marcus was busy with college life, internships, building his future. I understood. We were living in different worlds. During my second deployment, Dad had his first heart attack. I got emergency leave, flew home to find him recovering in the hospital, looking smaller than I remembered. Mom was exhausted, dark circles under her eyes from staying by his side. Marcus had driven up from college, taking charge of everything with his usual confidence. "I've got this handled," he assured me. "Go back to your unit. Dad's going to be fine." I wanted to stay, but Marcus insisted he could manage better alone. He'd always been better at dealing with family crises, better at knowing what to say. I returned to my deployment feeling useless, like I was abandoning them when they needed me most. The guilt ate at me for months. When Dad had his second heart attack 8 months later, I was in the middle of a 6-month rotation. Emergency leave was harder to get, and by the time I made it home, the funeral was over. Marcus had handled all the arrangements, made all the decisions. "I didn't want to burden you," he explained. "You were serving your country. Dad would have understood." Standing at Dad's grave, I felt like a stranger in my own family. Marcus had been there for the final conversations, the last moments, the important decisions. I'd been halfway around the world, fighting someone else's war while my father died. The resentment wasn't fair. Marcus had shouldered the responsibility while I was away, but it settled in my chest anyway, heavy and permanent. Mom took Dad's death hard. She'd been with him for 32 years, and suddenly she was alone in a house full of memories. Marcus finished college and moved back home, ostensibly to help her, but really because he couldn't find a job in his field. The economy was rough, and his degree in communications wasn't opening the doors he'd expected. I finished my deployment and came home for a month of leave. The house felt different without Dad, quieter, sadder. Mom had aged years in the few months since the funeral. She moved slowly, spoke softly, smiled rarely. I can't tell you how this ended in this short, so check the full story down here.